Well, good morning, everybody. Paige and Chuck here on the No Time to Be Sad channel. Today is our 9-year anniversary in Thailand. I want to talk to you. I want to reflect a little bit. I want to talk to you about whether or not we're going to stay in Thailand. What do we think about Thailand? Our adventures in the past. What's going to happen in the future? I want to just talk today about being in Thailand in general for 9 years. We've done quite a lot in Thailand. We've made many trips. Paige updates this, our trip wall, I guess, regularly, probably once every couple, 2-3 months, huh? I think you're running out of room. It looks like you're starting to put it there too. We've been through a lot. We've done a lot. I've bought a lot. I've had a whole lot of hobbies, from e-bikes to golfing to playing pool to all kinds of stuff. Mostly what we did, well, mostly what we do, and mostly the reason why we retired early and moved to Thailand wasn't because of the financial benefit of Thailand, wasn't because we wanted to just retire here, build a home, settle down. It was because we wanted to come to this part of the world and we wanted to travel. We had a little bit of a stop due to the pandemic. Things changed a lot after the pandemic, but our goal is still to travel Thailand and the world, and that's what we've been doing for the last 9 years, and really we don't have plans to stop that. I'm going into town today to go play golf with some friends. I'm not making a golf video, but I want to talk to you guys about what's going to happen here with the No Time to Be Sad channel. Good morning. Okay, I'm headed into the town of NakhonPhanom, the city, which is about 55 kilometers from our house here and our shop house here in ThatPhanom. I want to reflect a little bit. You know, I retired, or I decided a long time ago in my life, probably in my 30s, that I wanted to retire early. We all do things from our own roads we travel, I guess, in life. Our decisions we make and the way we think are from the way we were brought up, our experiences, and we're not supposed to relate to everybody. I think today, a little off track, everybody makes decisions based on their feelings, you know, like, I feel like I don't like this, or I feel like that, you know. I don't understand that from, I don't know, maybe from my generation. I don't know. I don't want to insult anybody, you know, like if it was from the Common Core generation or the you know, everybody deserves a trophy. But in reality, you know, we all make our own destination. Our problems most of the time are our own fault. Everybody has problems, you know. We just make corrections, we learn, and then we go forward. We don't blame it on everybody else, you know. Maybe it was somebody else's fault, whatever happened, but you got to learn from your mistake and you got to carry on. Not all situations are the same. But I decided a long time ago that I didn't want to be part of, I guess you could say, society. Like, I didn't want to live off grid, you know, in a tent in the middle of the jungle. I just wanted to do things my own way. I wanted to wake up in the morning and do what I wanted to do. I didn't want to wake up in the morning and do something I didn't really want to do for people that really didn't appreciate me or could care less about me, you know, just doing things for money. And it just seemed like, and I'm only sharing my experience. I'm not telling you how the world is in general, okay? I think a lot of people get confused on my channel that I'm just sharing my thoughts and my adventure, and that's basically it. But I knew a long time ago that I was going to retire early, you know, and I didn't quite know how I was going to do that. I've had a rough, just like everybody, we've had rough experiences in our life. I was married really young. When I was in my 20s, I got married to my high school sweetheart. And then once we lived together for a couple of years, I realized it wasn't going to work. So it was a little rough cutting that connection. And But later on, I met a Mexican girl who was working in a pool hall. I loved to play pool back then, and she was working in a pool hall as a waitress, but she was also a very, very good pool player. She started to play professional after we had got together for some time, but we had a great, like a really, I'll just say like a very passionate relationship. And I think that was really the only thing our relationship was really about. She was very aggressive, very, I don't know, she was, let's just say jealous. But anyway, she ended up fooling around on me. I don't blame it all on her. You know, I wasn't always there for her. I was young. I was trying to get my career going. She had some health issues, and I wasn't there for her the way I needed to be as a husband. And I recognize that, you know. And but it's not. I don't. You know, I forgive her, but it is what it is, and you know, we're not together. She wanted to try to stay together after that, but there was no way. Once you get cut, you know, there's no way to take that back. Like there's no. I spent a lot of years of her being jealous of me going out and going fishing or doing something. I've never ever cheated on her. Never had a thought of cheating on her, but ultimately that's what she was doing. It's a lot of people that are, you know, that accuse you of doing this or that, you know, a lot of times it's because that's how they are or it's how they think. But I met Paige shortly after that, and you know, it was just something I never experienced. I called her my little alien for a long time. It was just something I never experienced. I'll turn the camera around in just a moment, but you know, she was. The whole culture, the Buddhist mentality, it was just pure. Like, she had some set rules in her life, you know, that she stood by. You know, she wasn't really interested in having a relationship with me or a serious relationship with me. But it happened, you know, and I kind of pushed it a little bit. I just figured that I wasn't going to find another person like her, you know, in my life. We've been married now. I don't know, we met in 2007 and we were together a couple of years, you know, before we got married. So about 15, 16 years we've been married. We have our ups and downs, you know. I'm not an easy person to I'm not a bad person. I'm not an abusive person. I don't like to have a confrontation. I'm a giver, not a taker, but I'm stubborn, you know, and I like to buy things, and I get bored like really easy. I'm not bored with Paige, but I get bored with the circumstance. I'm going to talk about that like in Thailand. You know, I get bored quick, and I have to make a change. So she puts up with me, and I'm lucky. She is, you know, she's 49, but she's very energetic, and I love her just the way she is. She's goofy, she's funny, you know, she stands her ground when she wants, you know, when she says, you know, this is not what we need in our life, you know, she puts her foot down. But most of the time we're not in that circumstance. So that's just some of my a little bit of my history of relationships and my mindset. You know, I've had some ups and downs in my other personal life with family and stuff like that, but we've all done that. Was in the military for 4 years. You know, a lot of things make us think the way that we think. So I retired at 46, and I wanted to move to Thailand after visiting Thailand a couple of times. I knew Thailand was going to be the place where I could retire, and especially retire early without sacrificing like the quality of life. Like, I had thoughts of building a houseboat on a pontoon and living on the Mississippi River. Like, I thought that would be fun. Or living off grid somewhere in Colorado in the mountains. But I would get really bored, I think, extremely fast with that. So this was the perfect scenario for me. Like, I could retire early, The cost of living is low. I didn't really want to rent a house or build a house. I wanted to just find a place where we could go and we could just travel from there. And living with her parents is probably an extreme blessing in disguise. Like it was like it was meant to be. We all get along great. They're happy that we're there. Thai people are very family oriented. No, my father-in-law doesn't, I don't mooch off of them. I help them actually a lot. We all help each other out. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, Chuck, you live there mooching off your family. How disgraceful is that?" How would that? Those people are just idiots. Like, how is that even possible? Like, you think I asked my father-in-law for an allowance or something? People are stupid. But that's a different story. The YouTube, comment section is like the bathroom stall wall. Just vomit whatever comes out of your adolescent brain. But it was just it was great that we had a place that we could come, leave our stuff and travel from there. And then I enjoyed taking them on trips too. That was, that's really fun, and I enjoy that part. And that's part of the way I feel better about the situation, is giving back to them, by allowing them to go do things that they probably wouldn't be able to do without me being there, So I want to be a plus, not a negative, with everything I do. I want people, when they see me, "Oh, here's Chuck, I'm happy to see you," not like, "Oh, here's that guy again." I don't want to be that person ever. But anyway, we decided to do the travel trailer thing, and then I started doing YouTube videos during that time. I never in my life thought, "Oh, I'm going to be a YouTuber." I had a shitty camera. It was just no gimbal, and I talk like a slow redneck. Maybe I still do. I don't know, or care. But I had no idea anything about YouTube. I watched YouTube videos about Thailand. There was only like three YouTubers, I think, in all of the Thailand videos at the time, maybe 4. But not a whole lot of people was making YouTube videos, and moving to Thailand. YouTube had been out for a while. I don't know why. It wasn't a popular thing, but it just wasn't. So, I started making YouTube videos just for a catalog of our trips and talk about my experience for the first time ever on a travel trailer. I did my first video was first time travel trailer experience, and it like blew up. I say blew up, it got like a couple 100,000 views, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool, like people are interested." So it went from just doing a catalog to trying to talk a little bit about some information on what we were doing and where we were going and how we were doing it type thing. And I ended up with like 1,400 subscribers in a year. I was like, wow, I can't believe that many people. That's a lot of damn people that want to watch me roam around and talk about stupid stuff on a trailer, So when it came time to move to Thailand, we sold everything, what we had left, the truck, the trailer, our other little possessions we gave away. We put some small little items in at my mother's house, and then we moved to Thailand. I had a camera in my hand when I got on the plane, and had a camera in my hand when I got off the plane. When I got to Thailand, it was November 24th, 2016, which leads to the 9-year anniversary of us being in Thailand. I was super excited. It was just like, I don't know, it's a feeling of like weightlessness, all of the stresses just gone. It was like, and I've said this a million times, it was like being a kid again. I don't know anything. I'm going to be going places I've never seen before. I don't understand anything. I don't understand the language. I don't understand the culture. I was so excited for this. Now, this type of adventure is not for everybody. People like to know what's behind door number 2, But hang on a second. Sorry, that was my caddy. One making sure I was coming. It's Sunday, so it's probably busy. But she likes to caddy for me because I tip well, I'm sure. But anyway, I kind of forgot what the hell I was saying, you know, but I was just, you know, it was like being a kid again, except with money. Me and Paige had a financial plan. I don't have any income coming in, even to this day, from the States. I don't have a pension, I don't have disability, I don't have any medical stuff, 401k, Social Security. I'm gonna turn the camera around. I don't have any of that. So we had to come up with a plan to where we would have money, even based on if we were never gonna collect Social Security, which I think I should be getting about $1,800 or something like that when I turn 62. And then when Paige turns 62, we'll get probably another $1,000. So in our later years, you know, we'll have that money coming in, which is good. So sorry, where I come from, I want you to look at me when I talk to you. Sorry, skip ahead. So I think financially we did okay, and all of a sudden, like, I started making money on YouTube. You know, it started out where I was like making $100. Actually, when I moved here, I wasn't making any money, and then I think after 3 months, I finally hit $100, and then I was like, wow. I was joking around with Paige one day. I said, that'd be cool if I could make like $500 on YouTube a month. She just laughed at me. I said, I don't know, it's funny. But we didn't plan on traveling as much as we do now. We didn't really plan too much. I had a kind of a budget in my mind and with Paige on our spending, what we would do in our situation, and how we would travel. And it's changed a lot. Like, we spend a lot of money. I spend probably maybe close to 1.5 million baht a year because we travel so much. I'm only saying that because people call me like a cheap Charlie living off my family. And if I lived like them, I would have lots of money. If I lived like a hermit in a hostel on the computer worrying about what everybody else was doing, I would be in good shape. But our plan, like I said, was just while we were young, is to travel. One day we'll settle down, you know, hopefully not, you know, hopefully we can just, you know, wake up in our last days in some crazy hostel up in the mountains. Me and Paige are old, and, you know, I can go away peacefully. Paige can continue on. I don't know. Paige is 7 years younger than me. But financially, I thought I was okay, and I still think I'm okay. But now the money in YouTube, everything I make goes in. You know, I set everything up in America and mine and Paige's name. So the account is in mine and Paige's name in America. So everything goes into America, whatever money we make. So I have to pay freaking taxes on that. But the thing about business is, and I don't know why they want to tax me on the damn thing, it's just my entertainment. But, you know, it's the way it is. So, you know, hotels and driving and everything we use to create content is actually a write-off. So we pay probably, we don't make a lot of money, so we barely pay any taxes in America. I don't know why I'm bringing that up. It's just a topic, you know. Somebody will say something, or somebody's taking something, or maybe I'm thinking too much. But anyway, we've got a pretty good plan. And the thing about us is we're so flexible that we can just take off and go. Like, if something's like, you know what, Thailand sucks, let's go somewhere else. You know, we don't own anything. We're super flexible. So, and that's another reason why I can make these videos every day, because we don't really care too much about what anybody thinks or this and that. You know, we try to be as respectful as possible. We love Thailand. We love traveling here. I love promoting Thailand. We do our part pretty well at promoting businesses and stuff like that. And I know, because some business owners have told us, and customers have enjoyed following our journey and going to places that we have found in random parts of Thailand. Well, anyway, the travel thing was awesome that we were, hang on, she's texting me again. Yeah, 9 o'clock. I told you 9 o'clock. Hang on a second. Yes, 9 o'clock. I'm on the way. A Thai person that's punctual. Imagine that. So, talking about being flexible, I'll skip ahead a little bit. I brought my mom here, So, my mom is renting a condo in Udon Thani. I've got a lot of videos of her. I've got a whole playlist called Life Starts at 70. Mom wanted to share her journey. She's actually helped quite a few people with her journey through Thailand, and I'm thankful for YouTube that we were able to do that and help people. I think it's a good vessel to be able to do good, and that's how I look at it. But when I first got here, I was bored like crazy. Like I didn't know exactly what to do. Once the smoke cleared, I was like, what the shit am I gonna do, So I started riding a bicycle through town. I was doing fishing. I fished a little bit in the river, which was kind of weird for me, and then little lakes, stuff like that. I started riding like road bikes with friends. I'd ride over 100-something kilometers a day on my bike, Then I started to play golf. Now I go to Udon and play golf with my friends, hang out with Mom. It's a good little escape for me to get away from the day-to-day. Me and Paige are together all the time, so it's good to have a break for both of us. I wish that she had a friend that she could go take. She does, and maybe her and Gucci will take a trip, because Gucci has a car. That's Pookie number 2. She's okay sitting at home with her family, though. She's entertained by that. She entertains herself. Me, not so much. So I gotta go. But my mom is in the best place. She says she's at the best place she's ever been. She's extremely happy. My mom is healthy internally, which is really all that matters. She's in a good place. Will she pick up and move back home one day? I don't know. Will I pick up and move back to the States one day? I don't know. My mom doesn't really have a home in America. The only thing she has there is her sister. She would have to stay in some government-assisted home, and her quality of life probably wouldn't be as good as Thailand. But we'd figure out something to make it work if that's what she wanted, I hope the camera's not shaky. I know I'm talking a lot. But what do I think about leaving Thailand in the future? A lot of my friends have come here with the intent on staying permanent, realizing that Thailand really wasn't for them, especially full time, and decided to sell everything and move back to the States and just visit Thailand sometimes. I don't pretend like I know everything. It's just that I have a lot of experienced people around me all the time, a lot of Thai people that share their experience, and I talk to people on a daily basis that share their experience with me. So I gather all this information and I put my own conclusions together. So I don't follow chat sites, period. I don't do that. I don't believe a lot of the drama stuff on there. I think people like attention. But, I meet people and I see situations, and then I learn from there, okay, the road's going to suck. Let me pause the camera. I'll be right back. Okay, Thailand road construction and bad roads. I don't really, at this point, see myself going back to the States. To be honest with you, I don't know if I could work again with my thumbs are really not, I don't know what happened. I went and had some tests a couple different times. I've had some shots cortisone shots put in there. They seem to last a little bit. The doctor said I have carpal tunnel, I got tested for arthritis. I don't have that. I got tested for gout. I definitely don't have that. It's just from working so many years with my hands, and it's just what happens. Well, I've done some off topic. I've done some research here in Thailand, and there's a lot of people like to send me stuff when I mention things, but there's a lot of places that do stem cell treatment on shoulders and knees. But that's a big, giant area. The little tiny bone here is small. So there's a couple of places in Bangkok that can do it through a microscope, because they have to pinpoint the injection, and it's a very tiny, tiny space that has to be done. It can be done, but stem cell stuff doesn't work for everybody. And the treatment is a little painful right there. Not that I'm worried about that, I'm already in pain, but I might look into that. I'm mentally having some pain management, you know. I don't know if I could go back and work, to be honest with you. I don't know what to do. You know, I can't just go back and collect disability, you know. I think you have to work somewhere for a while, and that's not something that I want to do. Go work somewhere for a couple of years and then collect their disability, you know. I don't know. I'm hoping that shit just goes away. It seems like when I play golf a lot, it feels better. Like when I'm actually using my hand after a while, it works better. Maybe it's because I'm not using my hands like I used to. The doctor just hands me a handful of pain medication and just says, "You're old." I'm only 50. At the time, I was like 55. I'm like, I'm not that damn old, but you know, that's a problem I'm dealing. That's really my only health issue that I have. And I hate sharing health issues. I was just talking about, I don't know if I could go back and work. I don't know what I would do, you know. Maybe go travel trailer again and make video, maybe better quality videos of it, you know. I don't know. My life has changed right now. And, you know, I still like to exercise. It hurts a little bit, doesn't keep me from doing it, but we travel so much, it's difficult to get into a workout routine anymore, you know. I'm like, a travel routine is all I'm doing at the moment. And I come home and I diet and I exercise. I lose about 10 kilo and then I go gain it back. You know, that's the way my life is at the moment. But I get health checks once or twice a year, and I was a little concerned this year because I haven't had one in a while. And everybody kept telling me, "Oh, you got diabetes and all this shit because of food I eat." You know, I was like, I need to get a health test. But it came out actually better than it was 2 years ago. So I'm happy for that. I don't see myself going back to the States. I just can't imagine having to go deal with that stuff again. I am gonna have to go back though. My father's getting old. I have kids there. I have 3 kids. I've got 4 grandchildren. You know, I can't be there for them all. Hell, they don't even all live in the same state, you know. So even if I lived there, I couldn't spend time with them. I'd have to probably work every day. But I'm going to have to go back eventually to tend either to my father or my kids or whatever for probably an extended period of time. When that's going to be, hopefully not anytime soon. But I'm expecting that in the future. And I don't know what I'll do with my mom. Maybe she'll come with me. Maybe she'll stay. I'm not sure. As long as she has the capabilities of getting on an airplane and coming to me, if possible. I won't stay long enough to void my visa, though. I'll have to figure that out. So I don't want to live anywhere else but Thailand. Thailand's a perfect position on the planet. I can travel to Europe. I can travel to any of the ASEAN countries. I'm really enjoying my time here. I'm talking for Paige too. It's so inexpensive to hop on a plane and fly to Vietnam. And you can get to Vietnam for like back and forth for like $60 to $80. And it's a great place to travel and great place to see. We really enjoy Japan, which is not cheap. To fly there is not super cheap either. It's roughly about $600-700 for 2 round-trip tickets from Thailand. It's only 6.5 hours from here, though, one way. Me and Paige still get along really well. We have our little disagreements about stuff. She thinks a lot different than me, but I'm a passive person. Like, it doesn't really matter to me. We fit well because I accept her. Sometimes she has difficulty accepting me. I have to remind her that I'm not Buddhist, you know. I'm doing my best to try to relate, you know, to your culture. You know, you're going to have to try to relate to mine a little bit too. So we have to talk about things a lot, you know, sometimes. I don't expect her to think like me, and she can't expect me to think like her. I think that's where the problem is the couples expect each other to, you know, to try harder to be like them, but it doesn't work that way, you know. And I've realized that through all my relationships. And I have to remind Paige sometimes, you know. Paige is really kind of like, she doesn't think too much about stuff, you know. But I try to make the relationship work. We talked about a long time ago before we got together, we made an agreement. If we're not happy, we fix the problem or we separate. We don't spend our time miserable or upset with each other. If you want to be with somebody else, then go be with somebody else. Just be honest, and that's just the way it is. We just go our separate ways. But we always try to make it work. We've had a couple of rough spots, you know. I'm a typical stupid boy sometimes. You know, I make stupid mistakes. I'm too gullible, I think, with people, and sometimes I just let people take advantage of me, and it's caused some problems. So don't want to really get into that, but I'm at 2 strikes. Paige said number 3 and I'm done. Paige is probably like, what would she do without me? Like, I'm like, you know, I'm really fun to be with, maybe not on camera, but I'm fun to be with. I'm entertaining. I like to have a good time. I'm very easy. I always tell her, baby, you've met a lot of my friends. You know now that I'm Phalang number 1. Phalang means foreigner, you know, in Thailand. I said, you know now I'm Phalang number 1, right? She's like, yes, baby, I know. So I said, no, nobody's perfect. For sure I'm not. But I'm the best you're gonna find. I'm joking, but you know. Anyway, I just want to share. I'm happy to be here 9 years. I'm happy with my wife. You know, no time to be sad, right? I know a lot of people like drama. I try to make drama titles sometimes because it's the only lure I can get people to watch the video, because people don't like positivity. Not everybody, but it doesn't lure them into being interested, you know. People like failures. They don't like success. And, you know, a lot of people have really tried to bring me down through this YouTube channel thing for many years. And it's not going to happen, mainly because I don't care. Do whatever you're going to do. It doesn't affect me, not like a real person anyway. So I don't really care about that. But I talk about it a lot because people need to realize that people out there are, you know, they're just looking for attention, basically, is all they want, you know. And, you know, I like to call them out sometimes. But this channel is just really about my life. And that's it. That's really nothing special to it. I try to be positive and show you how things are in reality and how I get through it and what you can expect. And I think it's, if you really want to know life in Thailand, this channel will show you. Maybe not the lifestyle you want. A lot of people like to watch the Pattaya because that's the lifestyle that they want. You know, I don't offer that, so I think most people, that's why they come to Thailand. So I'm never going to be, you know, a couple 100,000 subscribers. By the way, I want to talk about subscribers right now. My channel is, I don't know what's going on. AI's really changed a lot with the dimensions of the YouTube stuff. And since when they had COVID They went to some crazy computer system that pretty much ran everything. Everybody left the office, so they created some system to to run itself. And I lost about 40,000 subscribers during that time. Some of it could have been just because I talked too much about COVID, you know, but which I know some of the people have left because they told me. But a lot of it was YouTube. Like, people were getting unsubscribed, and I was getting messages daily on, why are you unsubscribing me? You know, this and that. But now the new AI system, I don't know what's happening. I tried contacting, I talked about this before, but it's a recap. YouTube just said, oh, they're bots, or they have too many YouTube channels, or they have an inactive account. And I said, well, this is not true. I can share you a handful of emails that they've sent me or URLs to let you, and they just weren't interested. Like, they just, the system's taking care of it. We're going to go back to our latte, you know. But now the AI system is smart, like smarter than them. And I've had to make a lot of changes with my channel, especially the music. That some people are having a hard time digesting that, but I don't know. It's the way nobody likes change, especially technical change or entertainment change, or I don't know. Change is difficult, but I'm doing the best I don't know. I like the music, so that's really all that matters. And some of it, I'm trying to make it better and better and better, but it's a growing thing. I don't know why my subscriber count is going crazy right now. When I first started making YouTube videos and I really got over 4,000 subscribers, I would get like 100 a day sometimes. My channel grew really fast. They went from 4,000 to like 35,000 and maybe a year and a half. I was so used to that. Like, I was getting thousands of subscribers a month, and then COVID hit, and it was like I would get like 3 or negative a day. I would get like 100 subscribers a month. I'm like, what the hell happened, you know? And I just said, screw it, who cares? It doesn't matter. They're not watching the video anyway. And now they're still not. YouTube, to start over, to start back a little bit, AI is the one promoting your channel now. So AI makes a decision on who's going to watch your video. So I'm trying to get, I guess, in the queue to do that again, because I went from like 20,000 views down to 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 views on my videos. I don't know. It's weird. And what's weirder than that is that actually the AdSense pays more on 8,000 than it did on 20,000. I don't know. The whole thing's confusing to me. But I've got a whole lot of new people in the comment section. I get questions asked, you know, a lot about stuff that's pretty obvious in the channel today. And it's just a cycle. Did the subscriber count matter? No. What matters is that you guys watch the video and just enjoy the content. That's all that really matters, you know. Anyway, guys, I've said enough. My throat's hurting this morning. I've talked too much. I've got to go play I'm going to go walk 18 rounds of golf. I'm trying to lose 10 kilo in a week. Not trying, I will. I can always come home and lose 10 kilo quick. Gain it back quick too. Thank you guys so much. 9 years making YouTube videos in Thailand. You guys are awesome. I can't thank you enough. I can't thank you for the supporters, all the stuff that we sponsored with the kids and the school, all the stuff. We built that gigantic stadium for the kids. You know, we've done a lot for the community with the help of you. You guys have helped my mom. You guys have done a lot of stuff, you know, and I can't thank you. This whole community has been really a blessing for me, because I'm not really a people person. I didn't come here to make friends, but now I have thousands of friends. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Anyway, I'll let you guys go. I hope you enjoy your day. I hope you enjoy the content, and we can do it again another 9 years. Bye.